This system is only for those people who know they want to execute on their goals this year. Setting goals is pretty. Setting goals is fun. Everybody is setting their 2024 goals. By the end of the year, or even by the middle of the year, it will begin to show. The guys that are actually doing the daily, weekly work to execute on their goals are going to be far apart from the guys that only set their goals and only downloaded the pretty Notion templates. And this video is for those guys, the ones that are achieving. How many of the goals that you set for yourself in 2023 did you actually achieve? Many times we begin the year with rose-colored glasses. We have high expectations for the year. We set huge, humongous goals that we want to achieve throughout the year. And then we go about our life, right? We go back to work, we have birthdays, we celebrate with our families. And by the end of the year, when we start reviewing what we actually did that year, many times we see that maybe out of 10 goals that we set, we are only able to achieve 3 or 4. I have experienced this in my life personally. And the main reason that I've seen in my personal life and even in research as the reason why most people do not achieve their goals is because of a lack of goal accountability and review. Setting goals is very good. In fact, if you set goals for the year already, you are far ahead of half the population, because many people just go through a new year like it's a new day and they don't set any goals. But beyond just setting goals, you also have to make plans on how exactly you are going to achieve those goals that you have set for yourself. And that is why the 12-week year system that I'm going to explain and guide you on how to implement in this video is very, very important. Imagine you are a Shark Tank investor. In case you don't know what Shark Tank is. Shark Tank is a show on TV where different investors gather together and an entrepreneur comes and pitches an idea to them. Imagine you are a Shark Tank investor and an entrepreneur walks into the room and tells you that, they have a goal to create a business that generates $100 million in revenue. Of course, you are excited about this opportunity and you want to be a part of it, right? And then you ask them, what's the plan, right? What business exactly are you going to do that is going to get you 100 million in revenue? An entrepreneur tells you, oh, I don't know. I just have a goal. I just have a dream. If you're a wise investor, you will run away from that investment, right? It's the same thing with your life. It's not enough for you to just set a goal and say that by December 2024, I would have lost 60 kg, or by December 2024, I would have made 20 new friends. Setting that goal is good because without vision, the people will perish. But you actually have to have a clearly defined plan. If you have ever sat down to plan for the year, you'll see that it's actually kind of ridiculous to think that you could sit there in January and make a plan for how you're going to achieve your goals every month of the year. It's an almost impossible task. First of all, because it's time consuming. And if you are going to do it realistically, you probably need days to sit down, to think about how you're going to actually achieve those goals. That's number one. Number two as well is the year is long. You have 12 long months. You have 360 something long days, right, of living out those goals every single day. And things happen. Like this is January. By March, we don't know what's going to happen in the economy. By May, something could pop up at your job. Like a new opportunity could show up in the industry, in the world, in the country, in June, July, that will shift your goals from where they currently are. This is why setting goals for the whole year is not a realistic task. The 12-week year goal setting system is taken from this book, The 12-Week Year. Get more done in 12 weeks than you do in 12 months. And this system, this book is actually a business book. It's written for companies on how they can set and achieve goals for the year. This book makes a very strong argument that knowledge is power, but while that is true, it's actually the execution of knowledge that brings power. Everybody sets a goal. All of us are going to set a goal this year, 2024. But the question is, how many of us are going to actually execute on the goal? And that's where this 12-week year system comes to play. It is a system that is ridiculously focused on execution. And I say ridiculously because the level of detail, the level of planning, being focused on actually executing that goal is what makes the system very successful. And I have been applying this for the last 2 years, I applied it in 2022. I applied it in 2023. I made a video about it last year, showing you how I achieved all the goals that I had in 2022. And in 2024, I'm making another video just to remind you about this system. Now, the 12-week year goal setting system is based on 5 key principles. If you understand and apply those 5 key principles, you will be able to create your own 12-week year goal system, and you would be able to ridiculously execute on your goals this year. And that's the goal. The goal is not for you to just set goals. The goal is for you to achieve the goals that you have set. It's a different mindset. So don't just pat yourself on the back and say, oh, I already set my goals for 2024. The question is, have you set yourself up to achieve the goals that you have set for yourself in 2024? Let's jump right into the 12-week year goal setting system. So the first principle of the 12-week year goal setting system is having a clear life vision. Having a clear life vision. Now, this is very different from like general goal setting advice that tells you to just have a vision for the year. This system requires you to have a vision for your life. And the reason why this is important is because if you set a goal and you do not have a strong why, you do not have a strong backing, a reason why you are hungry to achieve that goal, the goal is going to fail. Whatever age you are now, just project and imagine you are 60 years old or you are 70 years old and ask yourself, what does 70-year-old me look like? What kind of life do I want to have when I'm 70 years old? So let's break down a common goal that everybody has, including me this year, is like, I want to be physically fit. I want to spend more time in the gym this year. That's a goal that I could have for myself, right? But when I think about it in terms of my life vision, the reason why I want to spend more time in the gym now is because when I'm 60 or 70, I want to be able to run marathons. And I'm laughing when I say it because I can't run anything right now. But like 60, 70, I want to be fit. I don't want to be bent. I don't want to be on a wheelchair. I don't want to be using a cane to walk. I want to be physically fit. I don't want to be obese. I want to be in good health. I want all the organs of my body to be healthy when I'm 60 or when I'm 70. Like, I want to look good, okay? I want to fit in my clothes. I want to wear nice clothes that fit me well. That's my life vision. My vision for my life is I want to be healthy, in good health. That's the first step of setting my 12-week goal. That's your why. Think about your life when you're 60, when you're 70, when you're 80. How do you want to look? How much money do you want to have in your bank account? What do you want your relationships to be like? What relationship do you want to have with your spouse? What relationship do you want to have with your siblings? How do you want your spiritual life to look like? What relationship do you want to have with God? What relationship do you want to have with your children? Actually, whether you have children or not, what relationship do you want to have with them? In terms of career, right? Many of us, when we are 60 or 70, will probably be retired. So the question is like, what legacy do I want to have, right? What value do I want to have created? In my industry, what do I want people to know me for? Do I want people to know me? Like, many people don't actually care about legacy. I do. Like, I want to be known. I want that when I'm 60 or 70, people are using things that I created. People are still benefiting from the value that I delivered into the world. That's something that I have for myself as a life vision. What is yours? In every area: career, finance, marriage, spirituality, fun. Actually fun. What do you want to be doing? Do you want to be 60, 70 and be angry? Even in terms of like mental health, like how do you want to be? Do you want to be a depressed old person? Or do you want to be a healed, happy, fun person that is just enjoying life? What kind of life do you want to have? I think I've beaten that point to death. But the point is, create a life vision. The second principle is breaking your broad vision into a concrete plan. Of course, you saw this coming. This is a 12-week year goal setting system. Your life vision is all great and dandy and sweet and nice. Even your goal for the year is good, but what's the concrete plan? And the emphasis is on plan versus goal. The very first step to doing this is, if you have already set goals for the year, that means in the beginning of the year, you already set your goal for 2024. I already did mine. I don't know if you already did. If you have not set your goals for 2024 and you need a bit of guidance on how to set that, let me know in the comment section below and I'll make a video on how I did mine. But let's assume that you already did yours, or you already have a few things in your mind, even if you didn't write them down. The first step is to think. If you were to create a 12-week year goals, it will start from January, where we are now, and it will end in March, somewhere around March, right? So think about your annual goals and ask yourself, is there any of these annual goals that you could complete by March? Those will become the first bedrock of your 12-week year. So let's say that you have an exam that you're going to write in March. Or let's say that you have reviews at work, performance reviews at work coming up in March. Those are goals that are already time-bound and they fall within the first 12-week year that you can create in 2024. Note those ones down. Those are your first 12-week year goals. The second step to execute the second principle is, let's say that all your other goals do not have a March deadline. So let's say, again, for me, in the health category, a goal that I have for myself this year, as I said, is to spend more time in the gym. First of all, that goal is vague. But let's say that my goal is to, actually, I have a concrete goal. The concrete goal that I have is to be able to lift, I think I gave myself 50 kg of weight in the gym. I don't know if that's realistic. If you go to the gym and you know if that goal is realistic, let me know. But that's the goal that I set for myself for this year, right? Now, when making that annual goal into a 12-week year goal, what I would do is I would think to myself and say, if I want to be able to lift 50 kg by December 2024, how many kg do I need to be able to lift by March? So my 12-week year goal in the health category could be that by March 2024, I want to be able to lift 10 kg of weight for 20 minutes, right? That could be the goal. This is learning, okay? That could be the goal. The goal could be that by March, I want to be able to lift 10 or 15 kg consistently for 20 minutes in the gym. That's the goal. Now, notice something about this example that I've given you. What this does is, first of all, it makes the goal real. Like, I can sit here and set my annual goal and say 50 kg by December. And I can forget about the goal. I can procrastinate on this goal for months, even till June. And I'll be telling myself that don't worry, you can still do it. You still have 4 months. You still have 5 months. And while all that is true, but by making this goal a March goal, by giving myself a goal for March, I have brought my annual goal a lot closer. It's almost as close as the way this mic is to my mouth. Like, I've made that goal a lot closer, more intimate, to myself. Also, it creates a sense of urgency, and it also breaks the goal down to a smaller goal size. So 50 kg for me right now is a lot to lift. But if you tell me 10 kg, does this seem like a big deal, right? I could probably lift 10 kg if I had to. So the point of doing this is it creates urgency for your goal. It makes your goals smaller, bite-sized chunks. And I think this is what makes this system just very amazing, is if you somehow are able to get yourself to actually achieve the March goal, you are 75% more likely to achieve your December goal. Do you know why? The reason is because you would have developed the habits, you would have developed the mindset, you would have developed the identity that you actually need to achieve the goal. And to be honest, I'm going to talk about that more on this channel. Beyond planning, beyond creating goals on paper, the 3 main things that you need to achieve any goal that you have is you need an identity. You need to start seeing yourself as someone that goes to the gym. That's the truth. You need to start seeing yourself as, this is who I am. I'm a gym babe. I'm a gym rat. Second thing is, like, you need the habits. You need the system. Right? That's the habit of waking up every morning and going to the gym. Waking up every morning and putting on your gym wear and going to the gym. That habit is how you would achieve the goal. By just giving yourself a smaller goal in March, you would have built up everything that you need to achieve the bigger goal. Like if you even wanted to increase that goal at the end of the year to 100 kg, for example, you will be able to do it because you've built up the mindset, you've built up the habits and the systems. And I think another thing that makes the system amazing is that when you achieve your goal in March, you've also created positive momentum. Like there's pride now. Like you feel like, you have a sense of achievement. I have done this thing that I set for myself to do. And what a sense of accomplishment does for you is that it increases your self-confidence. And because you have gains now, literal gains in the gym, you are now able to lift 10 kg. The fail rate for you is higher. Like, as I am now, like I don't go to the gym. Let's say I'm a couch potato, for example. It's easy to continue being a couch potato because that's what I've always been. But let's say that I've gone to the gym consistently for 3 months and I have a bit of muscle showing and I'm able to lift 10 kg. To just turn around and stop going to the gym, all things being equal, is actually harder for me than when I already have some proof than when I was just a couch potato. So having 12-week year goals, breaking your goals down into something that you can do for 12 weeks has more benefits than downsides. This goal that I have set for myself in March, which is to be able to lift 10 kg for 20 minutes. For this goal, I'm now going to start thinking, what are the tactics, right? What are the tactics? What are the steps that I need to actually achieve that goal? And I think this, again, this planning, this act of just planning the goals, planning how you will actually execute on the goals is what makes the 12-week year system amazing. You not only set the goals, but you think about your future self and say, what would I need to be true? What would I need to happen? And then by thinking about my future self, I can begin to tell myself that, okay, I need to wake up early because I resume work by 9. So I need to wake up at sometime before 8 a.m. to be able to go to the gym. I need gym clothes. I need a gym. So if there's no gym, like I have a gym in my building. If you didn't have a gym in your building, you will need to figure out, where the closest gym is, when you can actually get to the gym, what the cost of membership in that gym, is. So by taking the time to plan about actually how you're going to execute on that goal, you are more likely to succeed on that goal than someone who just writes, I want to, lose 50 kg by December, or I want to be able to lift 10 kg by March. That's what makes this system, awesome. So to recap the second principle, the first thing is, if there are any time-bound goals you already have within January to March, write those ones down. If you don't have those ones, for the goals that you have that are annual goals, you want to break them down and think about what you can achieve in 12 weeks by March. Now, for each of these goals that you have written down, you want to think critically about the tactics, the steps, the habits that you need to develop to be able to achieve those goals. The third principle is installing process controls. There's a bias that human beings have where we place a lot more trust in our future self. We think our future self is going to be better. We think our future self is going to be more motivated. We think our future self is going to want to achieve the goals. So we sit down, let's say today is Monday. You sit down on Monday and you set a goal for yourself that you are going to do on Friday. What you are doing is that you are making assumptions about your future self. You're making an assumption about yourself on Friday. You're assuming that Tyler that wakes up on Friday is going to feel like going to the gym. Tyler that wakes up on Friday is going to, want to do what she says she's going to do. And most times, we're wrong. This is why, in the beginning of the year, people sign up to gyms. They pay annual gym subscriptions. The reason why they do that is because they expect that their future self will keep using the subscription later in the year. And research has shown that is not true. Many people do not do what they think their future selves would do. I used to be an auditor many years ago, over 5 years ago now. And anytime we go into a company, before we even start reviewing the company's revenues or cost or anything, we have to gain an understanding of the company's controls. The value of controls is that controls prevent a system from going out of place. Controls are like gates. They keep the system protected and they prevent things from going left or right. There's a quote by Mike Tyson that says that everyone has a goal until they get hit in the mouth. Literally. Literally, everyone says, this year I'm going to read 25 books until you are put on a project where you're working 18 hours a day. I'm talking about myself. Where you're working 16 hours a day and you don't have time to sleep, let alone read a book. That was my experience last year. That was my experience last year. And I understood the reason why I feel that many of my goals last year was because I did not have controls. I had set goals for a life as a student. And when I started working, life literally hit me in the mouth. And all my goals, went left. They left the gates because there was no controls. And that's why this third principle is very easy. It's very important. Now, how do you set process controls? The way that this book recommends setting process controls is by having weekly review sessions, like reviewing your goals every week. Your memory may be better than mine, but I know that if I set a goal in the beginning of the year and I do not take time to go back and look at those goals, I won't forget. I probably will not forget that I have the goal. I will remember every time I pass by the gym, I'll remember that I have goals to enter the gym. But the goals get farther and farther. It doesn't seem as urgent anymore. And I procrastinate and procrastinate and procrastinate because the goal doesn't seem like a now goal. It seems like a future goal. And this is why weekly reviews are so important. So after you've set, your goal by March, the 12-week year system requires you to also set weekly goals. I do this every week on Sundays after church. And for each of my goal categories, I look at it and I ask myself, what do I need to achieve this week? I already said that my goal by March is to be able to lift 10 kg in the gym for 20 minutes. So what I would do is on the first week of my 12-week year, for that goal, my goal could be just go to the gym every day. Or even like go to the gym twice this week. Like the first step to achieving that goal is just building the consistency, building the habits, building the identity. That's the first step. Like I'm not even going near weights. What I have done is I have made my goal closer. It's no more a March goal. It's now a this week goal. Like it brings the goal into the now. It's a now goal. I need to achieve this goal by the end of the week. That's easy. It's easier for me because I set the goal on Sunday. Throughout the week, I may procrastinate on Monday, procrastinate on Tuesday, on Wednesday. But somewhere in my mind, I remember that this week, I have the goal of going to the gym at least once. And you do that for every other goal that you have. So let's say, you had that goal about the exam that you wanted to write in March. The question is, what do you need to do this week? Maybe this week you need to practice 20 questions. Maybe this week you need to finish reviewing, geography. Another part of this third principle of installing process controls is actually installing process controls. Back to my weekly, my gym goal, right? I could hire a personal trainer. And the personal trainer's job is to literally drag me to the gym every day. What I've done is that I've externalized my willpower. It doesn't have to depend on me now. Whether I feel like going to the gym or I do not feel like going to the gym doesn't matter because there's now someone outside of myself whose job it is to ensure that I achieve my goal. As you are thinking about your goals and as you're setting your weekly goals, also think about things that could happen, ways in which the system could fail, ways in which your goals could fail. Things that could happen that will make you not do what you want to do. Like I could binge watch Netflix for 5 hours every day. And that way, because of that, I will not sleep early. And because of that, I will not wake up early. And because I did not wake up early, I will not go to the gym. You see, I've thought about things that could happen to take me away from my goal. Now, what that shows me is I could implement a control on my Netflix app. I can download all these app blocker apps and limit my time on Netflix to 30 minutes a day. And after 30 minutes a day, Netflix gets locked or Netflix gets shut up. That way, I'm not, there's no chance for me to sleep late. And that way, I'm more likely to achieve my goals of going to the gym. Now, the fourth principle of the 12-week year goal setting system is feedback. Is to use measurement to get feedback so you can make informed decisions about your goal. If you work in corporate, you work a 9 to 5, you would have heard this phrase being said a lot repeatedly, like feedback is a gift. Feedback is a gift. We know that feedback is good in the corporate world. Feedback is good if you are trying to get ahead in our career. If you're an entrepreneur as well, you should typically ask for feedback from your clients. You tell people to give you reviews. When we are buying stuff on Amazon, for example, I don't know about you, but I always read the reviews. Like, feedback is all around us, and we expect feedback from like the general business world. But when it comes to our own lives and our own goals, many of us ignore this gift of feedback. And the 12-week year system, because it is ridiculously focused on execution, brings that back in. And the way you get feedback on your goals is by reviews, tracking, yourself and how you achieve that goal. At the end of every week, the 12-week year recommends that you have a goal review period where you look at the goal you set for yourself in the beginning of that week and you actually determine, did I achieve the goal that I set for myself? For me, I use Notion, and on my Notion, I actually tick off the goal, like, oh yes, I did this. No, I did not do this. Another thing that I do for my 12-week year system is I actually have a daily habit tracker. So based on my goals, I have set up like the tactics, the habits that I need to form, that I need to have to be able to achieve my goal. For example, sleeping by 10 p.m. is a habit that I'm developing. Waking up by 5 a.m. is a habit that I'm developing. Going to the gym every day is a habit that I'm developing. Doing my quiet time every day is a habit that I'm developing to be able to achieve my goal. Now, I have a daily habit tracker where like every day I go and I tick off, did I sleep by 10 p.m.? Did I wake up by 5 a.m.? Did I do my quiet time this morning? And I recommend that. I don't want to force it on you, just not to make the system very complicated. But if you actually want to get the most out of the 12-week year system, I advise you to actually track your goals on a daily basis and say, how am I living up to the habits that I know are required for me to achieve that goal? Now, whether you choose to have daily habit trackers, the bare minimum is that every week you review your performance that week against the goal that you already set. So every week I do mine on Sundays. I look at the goals that I set for the previous week and I ask myself, did I go to the gym twice this week the way that I said I was going to? Did I do my quiet time every day this week the way that I said I was going to? Did I spend any money this week when I said that I was not going to spend any money? The purpose of this feedback and this measurement is it forces you to be very honest about your execution. And more importantly, very, very honest about whether or not you are going to achieve your goals that you set for yourself in 2024. And if you want to make it bigger, whether or not you're going to be the person you want to be when you're 70. But let me not scare you. The choices that you make every single day is what is actually creating the life that you have. And by reviewing yourself every week, you are forced, literally forced, to confront yourself. Like, if every week you see that you actually did veg out in front of the TV every day, every week instead of praying, I woke up late. Every week instead of filming YouTube videos, I was on social media. What that is telling you is it's giving you feedback about the life that you're creating. This review only takes 15 minutes of my own time. And I just review myself and I give myself a score. Out of maybe I set 5 goals, how many did I achieve? If out of 5 things you said you were going to do, you did 1, that's progress. Focus on progress and not perfection. That's better than you did last week. The goal is to get better. So you achieve one goal this week. The goal next week is to at least achieve one. To not drop the thing that you did last week, to keep doing it and to hopefully add, something else to that goal. Something else that I have found helpful, even though I have not personally implemented it in my life, is having accountability groups. So actually this year, I have someone that is holding me accountable about my spiritual life. Ify, shout out. But accountability groups are very helpful. And I say groups, but it could be a person. It could be somebody else that you know that is also working towards a goal. It could be a similar goal to yours. So let's say you're an entrepreneur. Let's say you could find another friend that is also an entrepreneur trying to grow their business. And you guys can hold each other accountable. It could be someone that is going through something like you, or someone that is more like a mentor, someone that has achieved what you're trying to achieve. And you get that person to hold you accountable on doing, the tactics, the habits that you've set for yourself to achieve your goals. Again, what that gives you is feedback. It forces you to confront the reality of your actions towards your goal. The last and the fifth principle of the 12-week year system is having effective time use. No matter who you are in the world, either you're Bill Gates, Elon Musk, or just me, OBA, all of us have the same 24 hours every day. And time actually is the one asset that we all have for achieving our goals. So I want to go to the gym and be able to lift 50 kg by December 2024. I'm able to do that because I have the time asset. I have time. I have 30 minutes. I have 10 minutes. I have 20 minutes that I can get to dedicate to achieving, that goal that I have set for myself. So what it tells us is if you are not making effective use of your time, there's no way you're going to achieve your goals. You can set the goals, you can have the accountability groups, but it still boils down to how you use your time. And for me, the way that I know to implement this principle is to actually put stuff on my calendar. So every week when I set my weekly goals and I tell myself that I'm going to go to the gym twice this week, I take the effort to also think about what days in the week am I going to go to the gym. So based on my work, let's say that I know that, Tuesdays are more chill for me. Wednesdays are more chill for me. I can make an appointment with myself by putting it on my calendar. It's like every day I create, a calendar event that says go to the gym. And I tell myself that I'm going to go to the gym between 7 a.m. and 7:30 a.m. every day. And I put that in my calendar. By doing that, I've made a commitment with myself. I have grabbed 30 minutes of my time that I'm going to use to work towards my goal. By not putting your goals on your calendar, what you're doing, and you may feel like, this is, it's intense, you're taking it too far. But let me tell you something. By not putting your goals on your calendar, you are leaving your calendar open for other people to put their goals on your calendar. If you have a corporate job, and I believe that most of us that follow this channel do, you know that you have a work calendar. Like, it's very crazy to me, very, very crazy to me how we go to work and we use the calendar at work. Like, everything is scheduled. Meetings are scheduled. Review with your boss is scheduled. If you're even going to dinner with your teammates, they put it on your calendar. When it comes to your personal life, no, you want to be chill. You don't want to be too intense. As I said, this system is only for those people who know they want to execute on their goals this year. Setting goals is pretty. Setting goals is fun. Everybody is setting their 2024 goals. By the end of the year, or even by the middle of the year, it will begin to show. The guys that are actually doing the daily, weekly work to execute on their goals are going to be far apart from the guys that only set their goals and only downloaded the pretty Notion templates. And this video is for those guys, the ones that are achieving, the ones who want to create a happy, thriving life. And I'm telling you, put your goals on your calendar. Take back your time. If there's anything that is important for you to do this year, let's say you want, like for me, I have learning goals. I have books that I want to read this year. Best believe I'm putting it on my calendar. I'm giving myself 30 minutes. And I'm telling myself, in this 30 minutes, I am going to read this book. In this 30 minutes, I'm going to go to the gym. In this 30 minutes, I'm going to work on my self-care. Like, put your goals on your calendar. That's the gist. Beyond that, another thing I also do is like I set a reminder on my phone, because sometimes I may ignore my calendar. I'm human, but I set a reminder on my phone as well. Like, for example, things like calling my friend, right? I put that on my phone as a reminder. Why? Because I'm going to take the action on my phone. It's easier for me to remember it if it's on my phone, right? I have things like I want to make confessions every day. I put that on my phone. Going to the gym, I have an alarm. Like beyond just a calendar, but a reminder, I have an alarm that sings. It cries every morning and it says it's time for the gym. So this 12-week care system, as I said, is all about execution. And if you implement those 5 principles, you are more likely than the majority of the population to execute and achieve your goals. And if you've watched this video this far, you clearly care about executing goals. That's why I feel I have to tell you that the bedrock of achieving your goals are the habits that you have, the systems that you have. And if you want to learn about habits, you definitely should check out this video that I have here. And in that video, I share about my most important habit that has allowed me to consistently achieve my goals for years now. Go and watch that video to learn more. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you next week. Bye.